Word 6. Round the Pyre. The dawn was glimmering white above the land, and as I strolled around, I saw a huddled band outside the town. A burnt-out stretch of ground seemed to deny all green, and there, upon a red bank, could be seen a blazing fire amid the darkness. Around this pyre a horde of Christian priests and monks fed high the flames. Against that light, their circling steps seemed rhythmic, both of gloating and of fright. Upon the pyre, black-lettered books and papers flared, and the pages charred like faces, like bodies, like imploring hands, while from the smoke and sparks, pale spirits seemed to fly towards the heavens, and their flight was twin to that of soaring larks. Far from the fire, upon the other side, another group was standing, and its mien reflected a disdainful pensiveness, a noble grief and pride. I knew them all. They were the polytheists, the anti-Christians, and a pagan crowd, philosophers whose dreams were in the cloud, before the relics of a vanished Hellas still reverently bowed. Their eyes were fixed upon that blaze, as though upon an altar's light, as though they waited there to glean the ashes and bear them to some holy sight. "O you watchers of the fire, what are you burning here this night?" They looked at me and shouted, "Gypsy, tremble! You and all infidels, we assemble to burn that lying, hated, to consume that execrated book of Platon Gemistus, that volume which denies the Virgin and knows not Christ, that tome which raises to high thrones of glory and worships as divine the ghosts, the demons, and the idols of every pagan shrine." Then in the dawning's sweet rose-embroidered calm, before the rising of the sun, was heard a threefold psalm. One was the psalm by Christians sung, one was the pagan's tone, the third one was the gypsy's psalm, the last my own. The Christians. "O Hellenism, forlorn embittered slave, I saw the blasphemers' impious storm unloosed for your destruction like a wave, like a defilement, like a locust swarm. Who can behold you now with tearless eyes? For such a chastening, what were your sins? Your royal halls are open to the skies. The screech owl nests there the spider spins, and in the Antichrist's raised hand, oh, see the arrow of calamity. O Hellenism, forlorn embittered slave, your breast is pierced before you wait the grave. Heart, will and mind, all three and every other, are dead. The golden fragrance jar is cleft, the myrrh is spilt, you have but one drop left, your steadfast faith in Christ and in your mother. Let not the atheist rob you of your one last treasured pearl. Entreat God on his highest throne, and with his grace regain your crippled feet, and search within your empty heart down deep to find a lingering spark. From sorrow turn, all the dead branches round you gather, heap, take fire to them and burn them, burn them, burn! The atheist's vile treatise, cast it there into the blaze, that book of Satan's lure, or it will trap in its deceiving snare all that remains of you unscathed and pure. O Hellenism, forlorn embittered slave, the winging blasphemy had you for aim. O hapless country, may it have your curse, before it looms a pestilence, a grave, a leprosy, a hungry locust swarm. Bring torches, Purify with flame. The polytheists. May you be ever blessed, you who attempted to raise anew the fallen shrine of Hellas upon your shoulders' mighty span, who set upon its pediment a statue of law and carved upon its marble columns the concepts of Plotinus and his clan. In this imperfect world you saw an endless train of souls and deities at once enthroned and liege, bound by harmonious laws, and disregarding all the dim and cloudy forms of idols and of phantoms, you reached out towards the cause. And in a sacred arbor and in silence, far from the crowd's attention, you compiled and brought to life, fair as the sun, your city, your Spartan child. Among the Christians, enemies of life, you raised again many a lost Olympus, worlds of new galaxies and ages. In you the shades of Plato and Lycurgus have met, and you revitalized the words of Zoroastrian sages. When you had reared your child, then you at last knew weariness. Your centenarian life of godlike judgment you laid down in rest. Death took you lightly, with him you departed, thrice blessed, to dance the mystical Iacchus with the divine Olympians as their guest. Sage, judge, and prophet, you have shared with us the holy milk which was poured out for you from Aphrodite's breast. You leave now to the world your child, your miracle, but all the maimed, the blind, the envious consign it to the flames with maddened zest. Yet even the light breeze that fans your flames becomes a breath of wisdom and of truth, and from the embers of your pyre there soared up into the sun a wide-winged spirit. We hide your cinders in our bosom like relics. Your ashes have become our treasure hoard. The Gypsy. Anti-Christian Hellenes and polytheists, remnants, few and selected of the past. And you, the faithful of the Nazarene, crowds led by priestly caste, shout, burn and brawl. You are alike idolators, all. There is not one of you, not even one, be he or be he not a paragon, who takes from the bright sun of life the beam that brings a living gleam. In the ocean's darkest deep live certain whales, where the daylight cannot seep. They see, but it is not the sun that shines. From their own bodies shines their only sun, a hazy phosphorescent light that gleams, allowing a dim vision as of dreams where the true sunlight fails. And you are like those whales. All the bright Olympian visions, all the legendary names of beautiful divinities, the crosses of grim Golgotha, the Attic Virgin Athena, the Christian Holy Virgin, the icons of the martyred saints to which you pray for miracles, the sculptured perfect bodies of heroes and of gods, all are nothing, all of nothing spun, illusions every one. Of all your number no one can command, not one of you retain justice undisputed and virtue without stain. For hates and angers drive you mind bereft, or to the right or to the left. No land is wide enough, no zone. If you were given space itself, each one of you would wish to claim it for himself alone. Stoke your foolish flames, O monk. Burn, burn, you toil in vain. From the ashes of your fire, eagle, the idea shall rise, to soar with golden wings again, towards the light, towards the skies. You too, philosopher, shape and reshape the old polytheistic cult. Go to the ancients for forgotten names, to the Chaldeans for dead mysteries. All your creations are irrelevant. Your edifice is but a sepulchre, however white and stately it may be, and that which sways as though alive is but the shadow of a tree or of a revenant. No Athens and no Sparta and no city, for Athens has been cozened by a Jewess from Gethsemane. And Sparta is a name, I know her not, I know Mistra, and the world-famous city is Turkish, even she. Yet from these countless deaths and from all these servitudes spring new lives and liberties, with their soft and slow persistence, seeding, sprouting, branching, spreading from the mountains to the ocean sea. If you should chance to spy, O monk, a vestige which reminds you of the print of some Olympian, or catch the echo of some distant sound, like siren music, you roar hell's damnation. If lilies you should find on ancient ruins, you trample them or tear them from the ground. But all the things which you denounce and sentence are caught and carried up by butterflies, by birds and winds upon their wings of speed, and wafted tenderly to distant lands, they will be seen again as nests and nestlings and flowers risen from a newer seed. From out the east a ray of luminescence has pierced the fog banks of the western shore, on every side joy, madness, and desire. And in the light of Helicon and Hymettus, the crucified resembles bright Apollo, and Christ from Orpheus receives the lyre. You also, foe of Christianity, why labor to revive a bygone cult, and to the past forever turn your looks? Why scorn all things around you? Why praise your gods in rhythms from secret ancient books? Your war is futile, for the times have changed. Another creed knows other tongues and terms. It is not vainly that the Nazarene died like a thief or murderer on the cross. O world, his sad and heavy shadow touched you, and on you gazed the virgin heavenly queen. A day will come when you shall both clasp hands, pagans and Galileans, with clear-sighted eyes, strong with the herb of life's reviving fare. Then phantoms you will recognize as phantoms, and you will both stretch out your arms to grasp of all that lives your share. I bow before your immaterial dream, and build to it, philosopher, a shrine. Of a fine intellect it was the choice. I pity, but I do not blame you, monk, for you obeyed a gloomy god's command, a heartless god who spoke with duty's voice. Yet your loyalties and your holies, and all that you deny each one to each, I seem to have discovered reconciled, reborn and budding in a bright upsurge, one day when I was hunting in the mountains, which tower far away, snow-clad and wild. Sad, dejected, and discouraged, like a lost and shipwrecked sailor, I went to live among the wild beast packs. I drove my mule towards the topmost crests, and I pitched my tent high up amid the gorges and the forest tracks. And I found there amid the Thracian mountains and amid the lofty ranges of Epirus, while hunting for my food among those hills, a nascent and still undeveloped people descending from the summits and the passes, together with the flooded streams and rills. A self-reliant folk that knows no books, that has no idols of the polytheists, and whose high strongholds are its only schools. It has a mind, a power, and a will. Its men look like the statues of the gods and live by their own ballads' valiant rules. The cowards of the lowlands fear them. They speak of them by denigrating names and call them brigands, clefts, and traitors. The despots and the tyrants hate them. Among bowed heads they dare to stand upright. Among faint hearts they are the liberators. With their black scarves around their heads, you might, on seeing them, take them for monks, or for philosophers with their rough cloaks. Call them pagans, they are nature's chosen. Call them Christians, for they worship Christ, a Christ who only youth and joy evokes. All that you attempt to conquer with the sound of empty words, they shall demand with weapons in their hands. They do not stoop to raise up fallen altars. They are the fathers of the children who shall raise up new realms in sun-bright lands. The milk of vigor and the blood of sacrifice are mated in their being, and in each shaggy breast concealed a great heart thunders, life and truth in ballad, martyrdom, and battlefield. Strive on, you will soon pass away, you living dead, pagans and Christians both, and idols to which both of you pray. For fragrant with the breath of broom and thyme, the snow-cool mountain breezes shall snuff out your dim tapers' flickering ray. And thus it was that I, the bold denier, the devastator with his mocking scorn, the lava from a crater mouth aglow, I felt the dew of a new faith within me, and dreamed that I would also join these men. But they too shouted at me, "Gypsy, go!" Though they rejected me, I praise them still. I am the tongue of radiant truth in which no self-absorbed vindictiveness can dwell. And it is for this you hear me tolling on this day before you a slow-rhythmed passing bell.